Alright, what's up everybody? So today I'm going to be telling you guys the stories about the time I spent in El Salvador. I know I'm again a little bit behind on these videos, but that's all the joy I guess of traveling. I've been getting lost in the journey, but I want to keep on top of it the best I can. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about my time spent in El Salvador. I think the most common thing going on right now with El Salvador is this travel tourism hashtag don't skip El Salvador. Because a lot of people are just like, hey, screw Honduras and El Salvador, go straight from Nicaragua, jump up to Guatemala, you'll have a great time. And I kind of went against the advice I was given by a few people and decided to take a night bus up from Nicaragua into El Salvador. And I couldn't have been happier to do so. I spent a whole week in El Tunco, and I got a chance to work on my surf, and I got a chance to eat pupusas. Those are definitely the two highlights of going to El Salvador, not to mention the people I got a chance to hang out with while I was down there and just getting a chance to really get better at my surf, which was great. So basically every day in El Tunco consisted of me waking up pretty much the crack of dawn or before then, because that's when the surf was as good as it could have been at El Suzal. Suzal is like the point break in El Tunco, and basically if it's flat there, it's flat everywhere. So it was pretty flat at Suzal, but there was still enough to ride. And the first few days I actually had a shortboard, and I realized like I was just bagging myself for nothing, barely catching any waves, and there was tons of people out there, and I just like wasn't really having much fun. So I decided that I would change it up, and on I think the second day or halfway through the second day, I ended up grabbing a much longer board, like a 9.5 foot board. I was probably surfing like a 6.5 foot board or like a 6 foot short board, like it was pretty short. And I got this like nice long board, got out there, and like I said, the waves were just packed every day, but basically woke up at the crack of dawn to go surf and enjoy the breaks. And by the end of the second day, third, fourth, and fifth day, I was having a great time surfing with the people who were out there catching lots of waves, and really just got a chance to finally like ride proper waves. I know in Hako I talked about being able to ride waves and getting out past the beach break and catching them, but they were such quick, fast breaks that you really weren't on the wave for very long. In El Tunco, I finally got a chance to ride a wave for like almost a minute or more and really like start carving on a longer board. So I definitely improved my surfing skills, which was amazing. And basically the rest of the week I spent, or the rest of the day after I would surf in the morning, I would work all day, and then I'd go back out at sunset and see if I could catch a couple more waves on my longboard. Always the waves were a little bit choppier, or just like the surface waves were choppy, and so the swell was really being affected by the wind at the evening sets. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're out there, beautiful West Coast Pacific, and watching the sunset with a whole bunch of other people, having a great time trying to catch some waves. And I really felt like as the week progressed, everyone was getting a little bit more friendly with each other, and we all kind of had a better idea of the rules of surfing, which kind of didn't apply, it seemed like, in El Suzal. Like, people were stealing each other's waves, and you had these stand-up paddleboarders who would just hit everything, even if a surfer had been waiting for a while to hit something. So it was pretty interesting to experience that. And the other thing, obviously, that I think was most notable was getting a chance to eat pupusas. Pupusas, for those of you who don't know what pupusas are basically these cornbread pancakes that they make them in balls, and then they inject them with everything that you can imagine. So anything from like chicken and beef to cheese and beans to pumpkin, loroco, which was like a national flower, but basically it had to be a cornbread ball injected with cheese, and then you added whatever you wanted to it, and they cost 75 cents each. So basically my entire meals while I was down in El Tunco consisted of granola after I got home from the surfing in the morning, and then I would wait till lunch and I would have two pupusas, and then I would wait till dinner and I would have 3 pupusas, and then I would have some kind of sweet snack right after following dinner, and basically live for nothing and surf the surfboard rental was my most expensive cost. Obviously, people who are super serious about surf would just have brought their own boards or bought a board and stay there for longer, but I got a chance to just rent the boards, which was great to kind of feel out what I liked and what I didn't like. Definitely getting a better inclination as to what that is, which was super fun. And I also got a chance to spend a bunch of time with a friend of mine that I met down there, Gabby. Gabby is awesome. She's a ski touring guide from Canmore, which was awesome because she actually knows how to surf a little better than I did, and so she was just enough ahead of me to be able to give me some more pointers without having to look like a complete idiot. And we spent a lot of good time in the evening chatting and playing this Russian card game called Druk, which one of the other people at the hostel taught us. It was kind of like a Trump-based card game based in Russia. Can't really explain the rules right now, but it's kind of like Fuck the Dealer with Trump mixed into it, so it was super cool to learn a totally new game that I never expected to learn ever. So that was awesome. And beyond that, like, that was really the most notable things that I got down to adventure in El Tunco. It was pretty laid back and casual. One day we heard from one of the locals that Gabby was talking to over breakfast that there was some caves at low tide that you could go see along shoreline away from Suzhou, so south, and you basically walk down that direction for about 15 minutes. I mean, they said it was like 30 minutes. It was literally like a quick 15-minute walk down the beach line, and at low tide you got into these awesome epic caves. Obviously you'll see some photos of those, and that was super cool to see these houses and resorts basically built up on this cave cliffside, and the inside of just like following caves inside, which was super cool to see something that, you know, not a lot of people went down to El Tunco and knew about this, because obviously we got some good local knowledge there, and most people would go check out a different hike or something like that. So it was super fun to check out the caves near El Suzal or south of that, and basically just enjoy the slower week in El Tunco and get a lot of work done and have a lot of great chats with people. So this is a bit of a shorter one for me, but I wanted to share this with you guys anyways as the sun's setting. I'm currently in Flores, Guatemala. You can see the boats just going back and forth to the mainland. That's not the mainland where the bridge is, it's the north side. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully I'll keep in touch and keep these videos up to speed. So catch you guys later.